Hello everybody, it's Marty McConnell, the Off-Grid Gecko here, and today I am going to be swapping out these shoelaces, which are beat to hell, with Paracord. Most people are probably thinking, okay, Paracord shoelaces, that's like a survival type thing, right? Yeah, I guess it can be. Cordage is good to have on you, but I always have cordage in my backpack, so it's not really a big deal. This is regular grade 550 Paracord. I also have this 1100 pound stuff somewhere around here. It's a bit too thick for shoelaces, but the 550 cord works pretty well for this. Back to why. Because it's cheap. If you go and buy a pair of shoelaces, what do they normally run? 2, 3, 4, 6, $8 for a pair of shoelaces. A pair of freaking bootlaces, $8, really. So this is my way to stick it to the man and tell him to go to hell. And that's why I do it. I mean, if you want to stash paracord on you and your shoelaces, that's cool. This will work for that too. And it's pretty much the same procedure. The first thing we're going to do is get rid of the offending shoelaces. Now, in this case, these are already, the sheathing on them's ripped. So getting it back through that little hole is going to pose a problem. No problem. I'm going to snip this one off. The other one's still intact. So, and somebody needs to sharpen his knife one of these days. I've beat that poor knife to hell, and I haven't sharpened it in about 2 weeks while I've been beating it to hell. Anyway, so we're going to yank this shoelace out. Simple enough, right? I don't think I need to tell anybody how to thread a shoelace. That's not really, everybody does it differently anyway, so it doesn't matter. Then I'm going to get rid of all the little bits of tree that have been caught up in there. Give the shoe a once over look. Everything seems to be intact. These are pretty decent little shoes. So these cats, these are some off-brand thing from Walmart, I think. Brahma. They're actually holding up pretty well other than the laces, but that's par for the course for me. So yank that one out, get the other one out. Now we got to make some new laces. That's the short one. And I'm probably just going to throw this cordage outside for the cats to play with. They like string. So. And all we're going to do is cut us a couple of shoelaces. Now, these particular laces have been fairly long, so I could actually stand to cut them down a little bit, but for the purpose of demonstration and just always having extra cord on hand. So the important thing is that the two shoelaces are about the same length. They don't even have to be perfect. I mean, they're shoelaces. I don't think anybody's going to go down to your shoes with a tape measure and make sure the laces are the same length. So that's step one. Cut you a couple laces. Now, if you have any experience with paracord at all, then you know this tends to happen from time to time. The little ends get all frayed out and crazy. So we're going to prevent that from happening with this #1 survival tool of all time, fire from my hands. Now, everybody does this a little different. I basically like to take them and just kind of toast the end a little bit until you see stuff starting getting melty. You don't want to set it on fire per se, unless you're just really cool. And then as it gets melty, I just kind of work it with my fingers. It's hot, so you don't want to leave your fingers on there for very long, to where the end kind of comes to a little pointy nub. And then that'll make it easier to pass through the things, and it'll keep the ends from fraying out. You want to make sure the outer sheath is firmly melted to the inside stuff. So we'll do the same thing to the other end, and then we'll do the other shoelace. And if you start to notice these little wiry things coming off, that means it's way too hot and you're going to burn your hand. So get away from those little wiry, hot gluey type strands as fast as possible. Get those off your fingers. Okay, so now we got our laces. Next step, put the laces back in the boot. And then the major question, do you cross over the inside first or the outside first? Or do you do it left or right? Do you do it upside down? Do you go over the next step or under the next step? These are all totally useless questions that in no way affect how your shoelaces perform. Alright, done and done. And this is also why I get black paracord all the time, because black goes with everything. Now the other one. So there's another possible strategy with this. You can actually remove, if you like, the inner strands of the paracord for another purpose, and the outer sheaths will still work just fine as shoelaces, especially if you need a little bit skinnier shoelace to go through. The outer sheath will kind of flatten down and you can use it that way. I don't do that, but some people do. And there's two. And you're done. Now I used a yard of paracord for each boot. So that's 2 yards, basically, which is 6 feet. You can get 50 feet of this for about $5, I guess, or less, depending on how much you buy. I need to buy a freaking spool one of these days, but I'm not going to get into that. So for about $5, for about the price of a pair of shoelaces, you can get 50 feet of this stuff, which will make about 9 pairs of shoelaces. So same price for the paracord, and all in all, you're getting your shoelaces for roughly, what's that come out to? 5 divided by 9, let's just say 60 cents a pair, something like that. So yeah, not a bad deal at all. Maybe 55 cents a pair. Not a bad deal at all. And then you've got shoelaces forever, and you can pick your color, and paracord comes in so many different colors and styles and stuff, and you don't just need paracord for this. I mean, you can do that little lighter trick with any kind of nylon cord. So you can use bank line, you can use the little nylon ropes that they sell as cordage if it's small enough, all kinds of things. And in fact, the nylon cordage is probably a little bit more durable than these as far as durability's sake. Just wonderful way to go ahead and produce something yourself that takes literally, what that take, probably 10 minutes, versus driving all the way to the store, finding the right length of bootlaces, paying some idiot $5 so that you can come home and relace your boots for the same amount of money that you could have just gone and bought a little 50-foot hank of paracord for the same price, and you still got 40, 35, 40 feet of paracord that you can use for something else, even if you're not going to use it all for bootlaces. So that's how I do it. I'm not saying that's how you should do it, but it does offer you a lot of variety. You can order paracord in just about any color you can think of, any pattern you can think of. Like, it's like modern duct tape. It just comes in all different flavors. It's really, really the best way to go, I think, as far as bootlaces. And they're fairly sturdy, and they hold up just as long as standard bootlaces that come with any pair of boots, if not a little longer for me. But even if they don't hold up quite as long, still 50 cents versus $5. Weigh it. That's all I'm gonna batter your ear off with tonight, and I hope you enjoyed the show. And I'm going to show you more of these cool life hacks from time to time, so don't forget to subscribe if you want to see them. Yeah, I will talk to you later. Everybody have a safe night out there, and keep on keeping on.